If there's one thing that I've learned so far while playing Apex Legends is obviously this game is not built for solo queuing. And again, they've said it sort of many times that they really recommend people to stack, three stack, have a party of your friends to play the game because I guess they never really built it for also solo queuing as well, not really considering that people have friends. Obviously they have friends, or maybe they don't have friends, or just don't have anyone that wants to play Apex Legends with them. And can you really blame them because of the state that it's really been with Apex Legends? And so far, I guess with the new updates, especially with like the skirmishers and buffing them, and also before that with buffing the assault team and like specific legends and buffing every single weapon, it was pretty solid. But again, they really haven't done much after that, and it's just been sort of mediocre in some way. And because of that, there has still been a lot of people leaving this game, and it's even more of a reason for people to not like now play solo queuing even more because again, many of those players, their friends don't want to play this game anymore, and I don't blame them. My friends don't want to play Apex Legends anymore, and I don't blame them because this game can be absolute dog shit many times, especially with solo queuing in pubs or maybe even playing pubs with your friends. It can be so terrible. You can obviously be with your teammates that aren't really that great at this game and somehow get teamed up or going against a bunch of Apex predators. It's amazing how bad it is. It's worse than Call of Duty. It's worse than Fortnite. It's worse than Rainbow. It's so bad. The matchmaking in this game is absolute dog shit, and especially when you're solo queuing because again, they aren't considering the fact of people solo queuing in this game, so it's not really built for that. So if you are solo queuing, especially in ranked, because that's what I've really been playing, I've been playing a lot of ranked recently. I'm like Platinum 3, not a huge achievement, but still, I've been playing a lot, and I've realized again that the treatment with you playing in solo queue is absolutely like unjustifiable. Like it really is, because it's so unfair for me that I go against a bunch of three stacks people that actually have friends, that are teaming up with their friends and talking with their friends to communicate and everything. And of course, I lose fights because I don't have teammates that obviously I can depend on and communicate a lot with. Sure, you can say just go to game chat, but again, I really don't want to go to game chat because many of the people in Apex are fucking assholes. They're pieces of shit. So many of the times I don't really want to talk to them, and I try my best to communicate with them and tell them what to do. And one way is obviously communicating with how to fight a team. And many of the times, like, they have no idea what they're doing. And the system with the matchmaking is, if at least with solo queue, if you're solo queuing, you will always be teamed up with people that are worse than you. Like maybe a lower rank than you and aren't really as good, like worse than you in some way. But that also means that you will be going against people that are obviously 10 times better than you and are way of a higher ranked than you are and obviously have a higher skill set than you. So the matchmaking with this is so unfair and so fucking stupid that again, this also makes players not want to play this game anymore and just strays away all the people that want to play this game and just go play something else, because this whole system with the matchmaking is fucking terrible. I know I keep saying the same thing, but I'll prove. I'll show you something right now. I'm gonna show you a clip of my teammates obviously going against, I don't know, maybe it might have been solo queuers or maybe it was a three stack. I couldn't really tell, really. But these are the teammates that I get, and it wasn't entirely all of my teammates. There have been a lot of people that I've played with, solo queuing, that are really good and do really good with communicating, even when you really can't communicate a lot with solo queuing. So I'll show you right now. So in this clip right here, I see someone that is by the arsenal, the energy arsenal, and I try my best to maybe get a few more damage, like get some damage, and maybe even get the kill from Ash. But she did get away, and I did see that my teammate Mirage was actually over there where the enemy team was. So that team with Ash, the team is over there where he was. And I tried my best to warn him that a team's coming to him, or his teammates are coming to him, and I see that he's getting shot at. So I try my best to rush over to him and maybe try to help him out. Hopefully he doesn't die, and maybe I can make it in time and let him know where the people are so he can get away. And in here, I see that he drops down on me. I wanted to use my EMP, but I didn't have time because I saw he was rushing towards him. And I tried my best to laser Ash, but I got lasered by Alter. So that was kind of my fault as well. That was partially my fault as well, because I should have looked behind me as well and with the bridge, because obviously they had an Alter. So that was my fault as well. So obviously I'm guilty with something like this as well. But I did see that Mirage was next to me, and I tried my best to let him know that someone was right next to me. But in the end, he ended up getting lasered by the other two teammates, and I ended up dying, and he got knocked, and he also got later finished. And where was my other teammate? Where was Ash? She is still looting right now. In this type of situation, especially when you're in the circle, or in the storm, you should not be looting anymore. And in fact, if your team is getting shot from a team or another enemy team, try to go help them out and maybe help them win the fight. But no, this dude, as you can see, is still looting. He's not even going to go get our cards yet. He's still looting right now. I don't know why he thinks in this situation right now is a perfect time to still loot more. And you could say, why are you complaining? You're dead. Okay, but at least I know when I try my best and when it's a good idea to loot or not. And this time it was not a good idea, especially when my teammate Mirage was getting lasered. I'm not blaming Mirage at all. He did try his best, and especially when he tried his best with helping me out when I was getting finished. He at least got someone knocked, but of course I can't blame him because he got lasered by the other two enemies. So I can't really blame him at all with this. But with this teammate, this dude was still looting, as you can see. We're all long dead, and obviously the enemy team is still waiting for us to, or at least for him to get out of the circle. And you can tell, well, I can't really tell, but during this time when he launched that evac tower, the evac tower got fucking lasered and got destroyed. So he had to just go running towards the circle. And obviously they were still waiting for him. He could have gone any other way, but no. He was going in the direction where the bullets were going, completely ignoring the fact that people are still there and probably waiting for him, and just acts like nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. He's still going. He can see that there is a team right there. He could hear footsteps, but no. He ends up getting lasered anyways, and we fail. Now, you could say I was also partially my fault as well. I did have some fault on that as well. I shouldn't have just been out in the open to just, get lasered easily. And especially I should have heard the sound cues for Alter's Portal. I was so distracted with Ash that I didn't hear that. But during this time, I was so annoyed with Ash that I actually, for once, went into game chat and said, if you're going to be a fucking loot hoarder, then go play pubs, because you do not belong in ranked at all. And as you could say, I don't either, and I try my best, but I do try my best and know when in situations, just fuck the loot and go help your teammates or run from the storm. So these were the types of games that I would get at times. Sure, there might have been a few times where I did get good teammates and I did get wins or maybe a lot of kills and eventually ranked up a lot, but oh my god, were these times so fucking annoying. And this wasn't the only time. This happens many times in Apex Legends. Now, again, I'm letting you guys know that, of course, I am not the best player at all, and I'm still trying my best to improve in this game, but in this clip, you could see that many times I can be pretty ass. One thing that happens to me a lot, and I get punished for no reason, I'm waiting for my teammates. They might be loading or something, I don't know. I'm waiting to see what the legend will be, what we're picking, and I have no teammates. Amazing. Nice. I have no teammates in a ranked game. That's so fucking amazing.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this? That is not funny. That is not, there's nothing. There is nothing good. There's nothing creative about this.
See, I could maybe let all of this slide in some way, maybe. But the thing that I just can't get over with is the fact that you still get punished the same way as if you're 3-stacking. You would still get punished the same amount as if people that were 3-stacking. And understandably, if you get sort of punished, like you lose points while you're 3-stacking, that's sort of understandable, because that's kind of in some way your own fault, like your team's fault, that you sort of didn't try your hardest and ended up dying in some way that maybe was each of your own fault in some way. I'm not trying to blame everyone like that, but with solo queuing, you're getting punished for something that you probably can't even control at all. And because of that, you get punished the same way, which is unfair because many of the times it could be that maybe it's your fault, or maybe that it's many of the times your teammates' fault that they're the ones just dying or being really fucking stupid about it. And it's really, really unjustifiable the way that solo queuing is right now in Apex Legends. And many other huge, maybe esports or just huge content creators or people that play Apex a lot, play ranked a lot, also argue about this as well. The way that you just get punished, especially maybe when you're trying to solo queue in this game, is so unjustifiable. And the way that maybe they can fix this is obviously decrease the amount that you obviously lose when you're solo queuing. So maybe for like what, gold, you obviously go with -35, maybe -25 or something like that, or maybe in some way you get more points when you're solo queuing, because again, there's an easier way. It's easier to obviously play stacked, like 3-stacking with your teammates, people that obviously you play with a lot and can communicate a lot and know what you're supposed to be doing. It's a lot easier for that, and it's fair that obviously you get the fair, I guess, balance of losing points and trying to gain those points back and having to know what to do to get a lot of points. But with solo queuing, you're getting punished the same way, even though you can't really control a lot. You can't control your teammates. You can't tell them what to do because obviously they won't listen to you. They don't know who you are, so they can do whatever they want. And because of that, if they end up dying, you get punished for that, which is really unjustifiable and very annoying. So if you want, I would really recommend watching any other content creator, maybe like his Watson or something, someone that plays Apex a lot and gives his own reasonings on what they could do to fix solo queuing. But one way that I've seen and people may have said is decrease the amount that you lose, obviously starting off in the game. Maybe for like gold or something, like obviously going from all the ranks, like let's say for example gold, you lose -35. Instead of -35 because you're solo queuing, you could lose -20 or -15, something like that. Obviously not that low, but it's obviously dependent. And maybe then it could be fair, or at least increase the amount of points you can earn from solo queuing. But that could also be a problem as well in some way, because then that would also sort of encourage ratting a lot. And we all know how annoying ratting is. It's a strategy, but it's very, very annoying, and you're a pussy if you do that. That's all I'm saying. So again, solo queuing in Apex Legends is god awful, especially when you're trying to climb up ranks, because you have no idea. Especially when, obviously, there have been many times where it's my fault, as you see in the clip. Many of the times, I could have been like that, and I might have messed up, and I should have done something differently when I died in some way. So I know for a fact that it's not entirely my teammates' fault, it's also partially my fault as well. And that's why I do try to improve on what I could have done in that situation, especially when you're in an intense situation. Sometimes you just don't know what you're doing and you go crazy on what you're doing, so because of that you end up dying. And that's why I try my best to improve on what I should have done, what I shouldn't have done in that situation, and how I could have maybe even won that fight. But many of the times with solo queuing, even though maybe it might have been your fault, other times it might have also been your teammate's fault. And I'm not blaming every single teammate that I've played with ever. Obviously there have been a lot of people that did really good, especially even with, maybe they were solo queuing as well. They did really good with communicating, even if it was very little communication. We knew what we were supposed to do when we were pushing, so many of the times it was good. And I had a lot of pretty decent amount of teammates, but there was always those amount of people that just had no idea what they're doing, and somehow you get teamed up with those people, and then you still go against a bunch of diamonds, a bunch of masters, a bunch of predators, maybe people that are higher than you, like a higher platinum or something like that, and you get punished for that. You get punished even though it was out of your control. That's what's so annoying with Apex Legends. And don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure this is a problem with many other games, like maybe other battle royales as well, which I understand. But if you ask right now, maybe any other people, like any other content creators, I would probably say that they would say Apex Legends has the worst matchmaking of all time, or maybe even the worst solo queuing of all time. It's so downright terrible. It's so bad to the point that I'm pretty sure because of that, because obviously Apex has lost a lot of players because of how shit they've been treating this game, and because of that there have been a lot of people that still want to play this game that don't have any people, any friends to play with to communicate and maybe win a lot, which even like gives you more of a reason to just solo queue and increases the amount of people that solo queue as well, which then they have to deal with all of this bullshit and end up dying over and over, going lower ranks when it's sometimes out of their control, and because of that they just quit the game. They just don't like the game anymore because of how annoying it is, especially when they have no people they can actually communicate and are friends with. Which, sure, you can communicate with, enemies, or not enemies, randoms, but many of the times they're either just quiet or want to do something their own way, which many of the times fails in some way. And again, all of this probably wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't the fact that you would get paired up with people that are as good as you, as skilled as you, what your skill base is, if they were as skilled as you, and maybe going against people that were also as skilled as you, because this whole matchmaking system of Apex is complete garbage. I know I keep saying the same thing, but I'm not lying, it really is. It's so annoying, the fact that, of course, I understand it, we've all been terrible at games, and at some point in time I was really bad at this game as well. I'm probably now maybe an average, maybe below average, maybe an average, and I try my best to improve. And I understand that we're not all the best in this game, but that doesn't mean that it's fair for me to just play with teammates that are worse than me and then me go against people that are way better than me. You could say, just get better at this game. I'm trying to, but I'm going against people that are obviously going like way better than me and don't have people that I can really rely on because they're worse than me and don't know what they should really be doing in situations like this. So again, I'm not trying to entirely blame everyone that plays this game. I'm blaming the whole matchmaking system of this game, because the whole matchmaking, and especially with ranked, is fucking dog shit. And you could say as well that it really isn't that bad, but I'm just, in my opinion, I really do think it's fucking terrible. It really is. And they really, really need to fix this whole matchmaking system, especially with ranked, because it's so unfair the way that you get punished for something that's out of your control. And again, I'm not blaming everyone that plays this game, but this could have been more differently if we just had teammates that are as good as us, and we go against people that are as good as us as well. So that's all I really have to say about this. I hope you enjoyed, and I had a lot to talk about, and all I have to say is there's a lot Apex needs to fix to make this game thrive again. So far, it's not really been doing amazing again, because it did do pretty well during the first release of the new seasons, but now it's just losing more players again, which is not really a good look again. But I'm still hoping that they really focus on fixing this game, because there's a lot to fix in this game, and I would really recommend watching anyone that's really experienced with this game and really knows what they're talking about and gives a lot of evidence on what they can improve or why it's doing really bad, stuff like that. I guess that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. See ya.